Hello, I'm Jerry Schultz, an Associate Professor of Business at St. Charles Community College, and this is Impact, the blueprint to provide insight to leaders from a regional perspective. Let's welcome Ms. Raven Akram, a Vice President and Associate General Counsel in the field of healthcare and human resources, and currently with a Fortune 500 company, and also a community leader. What is quite awesome is that in her early years, she served in the role as a St. Louis Rams cheerleader, and in that role, she provided impressive community service. Together, she and I worked to bring together communities, and she also served in a leadership role with Macy's Corporate and as a senior attorney with the firm of Sandberg, Phoenix, and Von Gontard, P.C. She has been noted as a rising star for the Missouri Lawyers Weekly, selected as a North American representative by Geneva Corporation International, GGI, a top 30 under 30 business professional. Raven, thank you for joining Impact and for being with us today at St. Charles Community College.
Thank you for having me, Jerry. I'm happy to be here.
This is great. So let's begin with the first question.
Yeah.
Raven, when I think about your career and your career journey, I think of all the choices you made that got you here with us today and where you are. What is the choice you made that you thought, where others might think that you made a mistake, but you knew you didn't? And what was the mistake, and how did you get around all of that?
Yeah, so you mentioned one of the things that I did early in my career, and that was cheer for the St. Louis Rams.
Cheer for the St. Louis Rams?
Yes, yes.
I remember.
Yeah. So I was in my second year of practice, so I was still a baby attorney, and I had been dancing and performing most of my life. I performed throughout high school, college, and I wasn't ready to give it up. Unfortunately, there aren't a whole lot of dance and performance opportunities in St. Louis unless you're going to join a professional company, and I didn't have the time or probably even the talent for that. And I decided that St. Louis Rams might be a good thing, might be a fun thing for me to do. I love being part of a squad and performing, but I also love the community engagement that the cheerleaders did. So I was really excited about that. But again, I was in my second year of practice. The legal industry can be quite conservative, so there were some partners that I worked with and other attorneys I worked with that questioned that choice and whether or not that cheering would bring negative attention to the firm or to me. And I understood those concerns, but I like to do things other than practice law. I'm more than just an attorney. I love the arts. I love performing. I love dance. So I auditioned and I made it, and I had an awesome 3 years with the St. Louis Rams.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. So in that position, in that role, when you left, what was your title?
Yeah, so when I left Sandberg, Phoenix, I was a senior attorney.
A senior attorney.
Yes, and I was on the heels of partnership. So I would say another mistake that people warned me I might be making was leaving private practice at a time when I was up for partner, which is most attorneys' dreams. For me, that was not my dream. That was not my definition of success. Again, I love practicing law, but I really was interested in litigation, and I wanted to have one client. So the opportunity with Macy's presented itself, and Macy's is very unique in that it had its own in-house group of attorneys that did litigation all over the country. So I thought that was an incredible opportunity for me to continue to grow as a litigator and legal professional in a way that I didn't know that partnership, created for me. So while everybody else thought, why would you leave at this time? I knew it was the right choice for me.
And companies aren't always willing to let their good employees go. They think that you've deserted them when they've given you all of these opportunities. And at that time, you were very brave as a young person from a company who gave you so much to say, I've done my research, I've got the background, I want to take this step into the unknown, and you made all the right choices.
Yeah, it was a difficult decision because it did feel like family, and it felt like abandoning family in some way, but that's not what it was. I still have great relationships with the people I worked with.
You do.
Yeah.
And I can't say that there is a time, if the audience doesn't know, we've traveled this journey together, both of our journeys in our careers, and there isn't a time that people don't ask me, have you talked to Raven lately? Have you had lunch with Raven lately? And that's exciting that we're all still very close friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they let things go after a while.
Yeah.
So let's get on to the next question. And this is a fun question. If you could rewind time, and sometimes we do that for ourselves, and choose a different career, what would that career be and why would you choose it? Or it might be other careers, several.
Yeah. So I'm an artist at heart. And I would choose something in the arts and or the health and wellness space. So in my career now, I'm constantly dealing with conflict. I actually had a client tell me one time, I feel sorry for you because you get to see everybody in their worst state. And it can be daunting. Sometimes I enjoy it. I love supporting people through conflict. However, my heart is in the arts. When I considered what I was going to do with my career, at one point I actually thought I wanted to be a film critic, and I still really enjoy filmmaking. I actually helped film a horror movie a couple years ago with a local awesome director. And that reminded me of a time in life where I wanted to be a movie producer and or writer. I also, at the ripe age of 40, decided to start bodybuilding. And
I was hoping you would talk about that.
Yes. And so the question was, if I could rewind time, I think it's never too late to make a career change. And I'm not saying that's what I'm going to do, but if I were, I would definitely want to pursue something in the health and wellness space, and especially working with women who are over 40 who may think that it's too late for them, and it absolutely is not, to pursue a career or a lifestyle in health and wellness.
So you've talked a lot about St. Louis. So you're from St. Louis.
I am.
So may I ask, what high school did you go to?
I went to Parkway North. Go Vikings.
How about that, Parkway North? Well, Raven, thank you for being here today. I appreciate all the knowledge that you've shared for us. For our audience, thank you for watching. We'll continue talking with Raven in another episode. So remember, be bold, be confident, and be extraordinary.
But